Parang yung parang hindi ka napahin na lang. Pero na final. Bro, magkwento ka lang. Nagsiset up kasi ako habang nagsiset up ng ano. Yung I love Alpacapa. Pinalo din ko sa iyo yung welcome. Yung pito. dinanas mo din yung Indian run. Yung mga para sa bike. Siyempre, pag yan, makapag-banding ka sa mga nandoon, sa GC natin. Pag ano na lang tayo.
Team Jake, mega love shout out.
Ayan lang, kumina na may internet.
Out to Caldwell Pope, guarded by Booker. A long two by position. Suns on the move. Davis with the block. Schroeder in transition, staring down his former OKC Thunder teammate, Chris Paul. Schroeder off the Davis screen. The 15-footer is good. And the Lakers on the board first. Jeff, what do we expect to see from Phoenix at the offensive end stylistically?
Well, they move more and run a lot more offense than a lot of teams. They're not just always 5 out. As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open 3.
Defers to Booker for the long-range jumper.
It's a great decision by Paul. Had a mid-range jumper, get your home run hitter going.
Booker shot 34% from deep, averaged almost 26 a game this year for the Suns.
That number surprised me, too. The 34% as Schroeder's fouled.
Thought it was low?
No, yeah, I think he's a really good shooter, and I'm just surprised it was that low.
I'm surprised also, but I know he's a great shooter. And it's a great decision by Paul. Had a wide open foul line jump shot, turned it down, and got the ball to Booker.
And I like Schroeder getting going early. I think he's so critical for their championship aspirations to be assertive on the offensive end.
Big key for the Suns. Schroeder at the free throw line, still working his way back from going through health and safety protocols. And our officials this afternoon, Phoenix's own Bill Kennedy, Kane Fitzgerald, and Rodney Mott.
What you mentioned about the health and safety protocols, some guys handle it, some guys it takes time. And I thought that Schroeder was not good in the playing game against the Warriors. They need him to be good and aggressive.
Against the Suns this year, he averaged a little over 19 a game and 5 assists. Tied at 3. There's Ayton out top. Booker chased by Caldwell Pope. Bridges from the corner. He was one of their better three-point shooters this year, shooting 43% from deep. Here's James at the offensive end. Crowder guarding him, as he did last year a lot in the finals as a member of the Heat. And James rattles in his mid-range jump shot. The lob, and Ayton got it to go over LeBron.
I think Ayton has really shown great improvement this year at both ends of the floor.
And Drummond gets an easy one inside off the dime from Schroeder. Coach, as you talk about Ayton, we asked Monty Williams, what have you said to your team about the lack of playoff experience, or especially your three starters that have never been in this position before? I thought his answer was pretty interesting. We don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, he said they hear it from everybody else. They don't need to hear it from him.
Well, Ayton doesn't seem rattled early in this game. A couple of early field goals, tied at 7.
And I frankly liked the whole Suns approach. They were going to be ready no matter who they played. They weren't trying to avoid the Lakers. You have to go through very good teams, and as Monty Williams says over and over again, everything you want in life is on the other side of hard, and this matchup is hard.
That is a first-team All-NBA coach's quote by Williams, who was voted Coach of the Year by his peers recently. Schroeder, Caldwell Pope for 3. Drummond there to clean it up and got the follow. That's a good sign for Frank Vogel and the Lakers to get him untracked a little bit. He struggled. Bridges from deep.
What a pass by Booker. You can find elite point guards that can't make that play.
Suns leading 10-9. LeBron for 3. And LeBron James with a couple of field goals. He's got 5.
If you go under, he's so confident now stopping behind screens and knocking in the 3.
Ayton lost the handle here. Schroeder coming back for the Lakers. The Suns, though, back nicely in transition. LeBron going to pull another one. That's 2 for 2 from deep.
I've been there before where you go against a great player, and it is discouraging watching them knock down jump shots early because you know you have your hands full.
Lob up top for Ayton. Got the second one to fall. Ayton getting it back at the other end. It's 15-12. LeBron James missed 26 games due to that ankle sprain that he suffered. At the side of the backboard on that one, back comes Chris Paul. And Paul for 3. Got it. Frank Vogel calls timeout with the game knotted at 15. Back with more right after this.
Really? Really? Free testing and charging? And if you need a new one, we've got you.
Really?
Welcome to America's #1 battery destination, AutoZone, your battery solution.
This is the sound of change. The sound of 1,000 sighs of relief, and the sound of a company watching out for you. This is the sound of low cash mode from PNC Bank, giving you multiple options and at least 24 hours to help you avoid an overdraft fee. Because we believe how you handle overdrafts should be in your control, not just your bank's. Low cash mode on virtual wallet from PNC Bank. One way we're making a difference.
At Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients in real kitchens. When you order Chipotle, real food starts with you. Whether it's in restaurant, pickup, or delivery. However you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle.
If Philly Garcia listened to those who rejected him, he never would have made a name for himself, lining up some of the biggest names in pro sports. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Get it done!
Rated PG-13.
Now, we all know Progressive offers 24/7 protection, but we also bundle outdoor vehicles with home and auto to help people save more.
ABC. Today's Impact Players are brought to you by the U.S. Army. And it's almost hard to believe this is the first time Chris Paul and LeBron James have faced each other in the postseason. They've been friends since they played AAU ball together at age 14. And since then, they've shared all-star teams, Olympic teams, countless off-court moments. You know, when LeBron made it to the finals for the first time in his career, Chris was one of the friends who was courtside cheering him on. That was just Chris's second year in the league. And he told me, as he stood there, he told himself, quote, I don't want to be watching this. I want to be doing it. So there's certainly some poetry in the fact that 14 years later, if he is going to finally make good on that goal to reach the championship round, he has to go through his friend LeBron to get there. Mark, no surprises today. Just two old friends going hard at each other.
And maybe it'll be the other way around, Rachel, with LeBron visiting CP3 at the finals. A long journey for Chris Paul, New Orleans, Clippers, Houston, OKC last year, and now Phoenix. Davis getting his first field goal, guys.
Excellent execution out of the timeout. Well-designed play. Causing Ayton to help and opening the lane for Davis. On-point pass from Caldwell Pope. Davis up and over.
Is that a call by Frank Vogel to get him integrated, involved a little bit?
That's a design play out of the timeout to try to get him a touch. A cheap one, I think.
Made it count. There's Booker isolated against Schroeder. The double team comes. The Lakers in rotation. Bridges on the bounce. Left it short, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. And a good time to point out that the Lakers have the #1 rated defense in the NBA this year.
And it looks to me that's their second hard double team of Booker. One was a wing catch late in the clock, that time in the post against Schroeder. They're not going to allow him to operate freely.
Davis picked up his dribble. Here's Caldwell Pope off the Davis screen. Kuzma kicks it out to the corner. Caldwell Pope for three. And back comes Crowder. They got a 3-on-1. Ayton running the floor. Got the layup. Boy, the big man showing some great speed there. He's got 8 quick points in the game. Crowder on Davis. And Crowder knocks it away. There's one of the guys for the Suns with playoff experience.
And Ayton got away with leaving Caldwell Pope open for a corner three. But it put him in prime position to get out and run. And run he did. Speed, catching it, and finishing.
LeBron going to sit down with 5:26 to go here in the first quarter. Whistle, contact. That's going to be an offensive foul against Montrezl Harrell. And Booker with an easy one at the other end. And somebody hit the snooze bar on the Lakers squad. Booker now with 2 field goals, 5 points.
And those are the points that's inexcusable. You can't have those type of mistakes in playoff basketball, Coach.
Now, the whole team hit the snooze bar.
Schroeder off the Harrell screen. Tough shot. And rebounded by Bridges with one hand. Ball weaving through traffic. Let's call it a pass. Ayton with 10 points.
I think it was because the Lakers are switching late when Paul gets into the lane. So they had Caldwell Pope on Ayton, and he just shot a jump shot pass right there to get Ayton another easy one.
A couple of assists already for Chris Paul. Davis with the spin move. Well defended by Ayton. Paul into the paint. Crowder for 3. Got it!
And I thought that was a 2.
I thought so too. That right foot looked like it was on the line. That's great offense though by the Suns.
Now with Taco Bell's app, you can build your own $5 cravings box. Because you know what you crave at Taco Bell. So eat like you. Build your own $5 cravings box today, only online or with the Taco Bell app.
Who would I be if I snoozed? Skip the practice here and there.
Order for LeBron?
If I lost sight of my goals. That's me. I might have been LeBron James. Salsa King? Nah, I choose.
Yours, let it fly, bro. Hey, make a play.
You think about how far this franchise has come. 2 years ago, they won just 19 games, and then in the bubble last year, they were undefeated, went 8-0, albeit coming up short to make the Western Conference playoffs. And then the acquisition of Chris Paul in November really turned up the expectations. And they've delivered on them so far. Kuzma from deep. Rebounded, here's Booker. Cam Johnson checked into the ball game during the break for the Suns, as well as Cameron Payne. Booker inside with a nice little drop step.
The thing I love about his opportunity to play playoff basketball is so many more people get to realize how special the talent he is.
I mean, that's a superior post move. The way he pivoted as Schroeder again attacks and gets fouled. I mean, his footwork here, big guys don't even have this anymore. Backs in, shake, and then continues to pivot on to step through. Freezes him with the shake. That's just nice.
Monty Williams had great things to say about his All-Star.
This is the game of basketball. Poetry in motion. It breaks hearts, bends minds, and drops jaws. And it keeps us wanting more long after the buzzer. That's devotion. That's bigger than basketball. That's game.
Monty Williams talked about Devin Booker's selflessness and talked about him being a guy that just wants to help and how to execute leadership. And he pointed out when Booker passed on All-Star Weekend and stayed in Phoenix to get treatment and had a bigger team-oriented goal on his mind, during that All-Star weekend. Back the other way in transition. Schroeder on the drive got hit by Crowder. That's going to be a block.
And you can make the case if I'm Monty Williams. I'd take a look at this because it looked like Schroeder was the one that created all the contact.
He did. And you could say that is an offensive foul, or you could say that's smart offense.
Schroeder definitely initiated the hit there. I guess you were saying that he wasn't in, or Crowder wasn't in legal guarding position. Subs out of the ball game. A couple of points and fouls. Dennis Schroeder averaged 17 points a game in Oklahoma City's 7-game loss to Houston last year in the playoffs. He's playoff tested, but his fitness level not quite where he would want it to be right now in wake of the health and safety protocols.
Well, he and Chris Paul together last year, Schroeder off the bench. I just thought they played so very well together.
Everybody talked about LeBron being absent. How much do you think the Lakers miss Schroeder down the stretch, guys?
Valuable. Missed him a lot. His campaign with the finish over Anthony Davis because he's the one guy that can play out of pick and roll and make a play for himself, not named Davis or James.
Here he is in the pick and roll, passed up an elbow jump shot. Davis working against Ayton. Mid-range jumper is pure. Anthony Davis with his second field goal. He's got 4. Phoenix up by 6. They double-team Booker again. Here's Cam Payne for 3. And rebounded by Harrell.
And they're not getting the James Harden treatment from last year in the playoffs. They're not going to allow Booker just to isolate.
Every respect for a guy who's in the playoffs for the first time. LeBron James coming back into the ball game along with Alex Caruso. Here's the upcoming national TV schedule on TNT later today. Some great games coming up. The Knicks taking on the Hawks at 7 Eastern in New York. Utah hosting Memphis. And for more, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. I'm really excited to see the Grizzlies as Davis misses. See what Ja Morant does in wake of that spectacular performance against Golden State. Johnson for 3.
But you talk about that Memphis team, and they don't seem to me to be a team that's going to sit on the victory of beating the Warriors. That team looks like, to me, what Coach Riley would call the disease of greed. They want more.
Ja Morant with a real come-up in a breakout game. Davis tied up by Booker. They swarm Davis. And Kuzma turns it over. They got a 3-on-2. Booker. And he throws it away.
They don't turn it over much, but that was a missed opportunity right there.
Coach, I really like the way that Phoenix is getting into the body of the Lakers. They're disrupting what they're trying to do offensively.
We talked about the Lakers guys defensively, but the Phoenix Suns are one of just 2 teams in the league that are in the top 7 in defensive and offensive rating, the other one being the Utah Jazz. LeBron started off hot. Nice assist to Harrell for the slam. Lakers down by 7, under a minute to go here in a rather high-scoring first quarter for the Suns. They've got 30 on the board. Here's Ayton. Here's Ayton. Booker being chased by Kuzma. Tough shot. Got it. Wow. High degree of difficulty by Devin Booker. And a nice run out by Harrell at the other end.
Great pass and kept it up high.
Wow, he pulled from Scottsdale. It came up a little bit short in that 2-for-1.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a 2-for-1. People looking probably saying, what a bad shot. He's actually doing the math and takes a quick one, giving his team an opportunity. But, Coach, I'm sure you would agree. I'd like to have a good shot as opposed to a bad one.
Yeah, it's very interesting, especially come playoffs. how valuable the 2-for-1 is, but it's widely accepted.
Caruso missing with the left hand. Caruso had a big game in that play-in tournament game against the Warriors. He kept the Lakers afloat in that first quarter. Cam Johnson drives baseline, and that's going to be a foul against Harrell.
And they had a foul to give, so it's the right play.
Well, folks, you could win $1 million or courtside seats. Wow, okay. Fill out your bracket. It's worth it for NBA Pick'em Playoffs Bracket Challenge. For more chance to win big, play free at nba.com/bracket. Chris Paul will inbound. Cam Johnson, tough pull-up, and he missed it. Harrell was looking for a foul, an offensive foul, but that's the end of the first 12 minutes. The Phoenix Suns didn't seem to suffer from any degree of stage fright in that first 12 minutes. Good numbers on the board for those two.
Great philosopher Socrates once said, "To find yourself, think for yourself."
I'm here with Coach Frank Vogel. And Frank,
first home game for these guys, and so we just got to slow down a little bit offensively, but we got to get back on D. We're not getting back in transition well enough, and that'll help if we execute better offensively.
Yeah, it is, but it seems like they've got 10-0 in fast break points. Is that just getting used to their pace?
Nah, like I said, we got to execute better, and for whatever reason, we just didn't get our defense set. We didn't get the right balance, and we fell asleep a couple times. Get that right.
Thanks so much, Frank. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Rachel at the other end. Cam Johnson with a fast break layup for the Suns to start this second quarter. They lead by 9. Johnson had missed 6 games with a wrist injury, but ready to go here this afternoon. Here's Horton Tucker out top.
So we heard Frank Vogel talk about it. Lakers gave up 10 fast break points in that first quarter as Tucker with the finish. And then the first possession of the second, they give up another deuce.
Chris Paul up court. Started by Caruso. Tried to hit Saric, and that's going to be a kick ball.
You see the move by Tucker. One-on-one against Payne. Gets to his spot, and he can score.
And they were arguing, the Lakers, that wasn't a kick, that Caruso got just a normal deflection.
Payne inside for Saric. Back out to Payne. The shot clock at 3. Payne from 15. Tipped up and in by Saric. Saric had been slumping of late, coming off the bench. Good to see him get off to a good start if you're Monty Williams. Here's Kuzma. Been conspicuous by his silence so far. Caruso from deep. And one and done for the Lakers. Here's Payne. Cameron Payne, one of those great stories for the Suns this year. His career resurrected by Monty Williams. Saric rattles another one home.
And you're right about Cam Payne. In Oklahoma City, where he was drafted in the lottery, did not play well, was known more for his handshakes than his game, out of the league. And now, as you said, he has been phenomenal this year off the bench. He shot it well. He played well. He's taken advantage of another opportunity.
That was in the G League after going to China. He was only in China for a couple of months and came back. And got the call from Monty Williams before they went to the bubble. Ball over to Saric. Saric couldn't get the handle. Lakers in transition. Horton Tucker takes it to the rack. And a nice follow by LeBron James, who's now got 10 points.
And Chris Paul is down in pain.
Oh, boy. Holding his right shoulder by his neck. All writhing in pain. Going to take a short break and come right back.
In 5 days.
put a stamp on that behavior neither. I think I can say, I'll help you out, but then I'm going to hand you the business when we get back to action.
Doesn't have to be one way or the other. That's a great point, Mark. James with 10 points. He's looked good. Passing to teammates. Harrell on the receiving end of that pass. And a hard foul by Saric underneath.
If you're the Phoenix Suns, you have to have the mentality, okay, Chris Paul is out. We don't know for how long, but this game is still winnable. This series is still winnable. Continue the right habits, continue to defend, and play aggressively with confidence and give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, and Devin Booker play huge minutes and create the same shots for your teammates that Chris Paul does.
Harrell is 71% free throw shooter.
Yeah, it's about that time. Time for me, you, and 16 teams to rock out. This is hunger. This is hype. This is the NBA playoffs.
Lakers cut the lead to 7.
Coach, you made a good point. I don't know if I would trust the Oklahoma City or the Chicago campaign, but I can trust this guy. He's a different basketball player with the right mindset.
Yeah, and Devin Booker is going to take on two people all the time, but they can't turn it over, and they need Ayton back in to finish those plays against the double team.
LeBron spins. That pass coming in a little bit hot for Harrell, and they turn it over. Guys, what do you make of the way that LeBron looks so far? I mean, he's got some good points and some good numbers on the board.
He looks healthy, which is first and foremost if you're a Laker fan. Live body. He looks like he's ready to take over at any point.
There's Campaign with the floater, left it on the front rim. Johnson back out to Bridges. And now Booker coming off the Saric screen. Payne with a sidestep three. And one and done for Phoenix. Back comes Horton Tucker. James, great pass to Harrell, and one. Boy, LeBron James through a tight window, guys. Found the big man inside.
But this is a great run by Harrell as well to outrun Saric, seal the smaller Cameron Payne. And like you said, James delivers it on point. Good hands by Harrell. Excellent finish, but it starts with a big run in the middle of the floor and sealing deep.
LeBron with 10 points, 3 assists, a couple of rebounds so far. Montrezl Harrell, last year's Sixth Man of the Year as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. Back at the free throw line. If the Lakers are going to repeat as champions, you could argue that this would be maybe LeBron's biggest accomplishment, coming from the 7th seed as the Suns turn it over again.
They averaged 12 on the season, 7 already.
Wesley Matthews checks into the ball game for Kyle Kuzma. Matthews is trending in the right direction for the Lakers. LeBron rising up for the jumper. That one rattling halfway down and out. Harrell pounding the boards, and he'll make another trek back to the free throw line. Boy, he is giving the Suns all they can handle underneath, guys.
He's doing a great job. How he made his big money and his impact as a Sixth Man of the Year. Energy, outworking everybody on the floor, and being nasty with it.
That last foul against DeAndre Ayton.
And this is the effort Harrell gave to run the floor and seal. He challenged the shot and then ran right to the rim, turned, posted up, and caught. The post game is not dead. It's sort of dead in the half court, but in the full court, you can still get transition buckets by sprinting rim to rim, turning and sealing quick.
Harrell knocks down the second foul shot. When Chris Paul left, it was 38-29. Lakers on a 6-0 run. Since he left, Booker stops the hemorrhaging with a mid-range jump shot. Devin Booker, 5 of 8 from the field. He's got 11. Horton Tucker. Here's Crowder. Caruso on Booker. Nice pass inside to Ayton. Got it stripped away. Out of bounds. It'll stay Phoenix basketball with 9 on the shot clock.
And Ayton complaining that there was contact. I'd complain to him. Take guys up to the rim and finish. Booker made the right read and made the right play.
Well, that's an underrated aspect of Booker's game is his passing.
He misses the mid-range jump shot on the baseline. It'll come back the other way to the Lakers. Devin Booker already, though, with 11 points. 2-time All-Star.
Phoenix going zone for the first time. In the finals last year, they hurt Miami by getting the ball into the middle.
Drummond trying to seal Crowder, gets it, and steps out of bounds. Let's go to Rachel.
Well, Marcus, we're still waiting for an update on Chris Paul. It's interesting you guys mentioned Devin Booker in this moment. He said all those years of not making the playoffs, this team is being not very good. He had all of the attention of every defense he faced. He said he thought that made him ready for playoff defense, and he didn't know he was going to have to play in the playoffs without Chris Paul for at least these few minutes. But he said he was prepared for being the focus of any team. So, you know, he's ready.
Certainly is. I mean, you go back to 2015, his rookie year, and early DNP CDs, not getting much run at that time, and got really depressed, but just took it to the gym, and a lot of late night shooting sessions with his dad, Melvin Booker, who played collegiately and professionally overseas. A lot of late night shooting sessions at nearby Arizona State University. They were more therapeutic and cathartic than anything else, but he kept at it. Matthews for 3. Drummond kept it alive. Lakers battling, but the Suns control. Booker on the move. Slams it home.
That's therapeutic for Monty Williams. Take it to the rim and dunk that thing.
Horton Tucker goes. Here's Crowder. Each one more in the ball game. Bridges inside. Blow it, but Ayton follows it up. Timeout Lakers.
Crowd going crazy. Booker in the open court, attacking the seams against the Lakers in transition. Says, excuse me, I got an appointment with the rim.
The NBA playoffs presented by Mountain Dew on ABC is brought to you.
DJ Eric Name.
Welcome back to the NBA on ABC. You could hear the enormous roar of the crowd when Chris Paul walked out of the top. The athletic trainers here have diagnosed him with a right shoulder contusion, but as you can see, guys, he is fully available to play and ready to make his mark on this game. Mark?
Into the ball game, too. Immediately went back in. Etuan Moore coming out. Deep jumper from Caldwell Pope, no good. And Bridges controls. Here's CP3. There was a 9-point lead for the Suns when he left initially. They still lead by 9, and turnover. We'll have to keep an eye on what he looks like in terms of his performance and whether that injury has any kind of impact. Let's take a look at what happened there as he lost the handle.
He just lost the handle. And then he took a take foul to prevent the transition, but they were in the bonus.
We all know about the Chris Paul injuries, especially the one in Houston several years ago, the hamstring injury, which might have cost the Rockets an opportunity to make the finals. Here's one more look at what happened several minutes ago, that glancing blow he took and the shoulder contusion, as it was characterized as, which forced him to miss the game for about 5 minutes. Lead is down to 7. Chris Paul, a couple of years ago, after going through that hamstring injury in Houston, went through a major nutrition and dietary change, went to a plant-based diet. He feels it's helped his longevity. Ayton inside. Lead is back up to 9. Davis, Drummond left it on the rim, and he'll get a couple of free throws.
Both big guys, Drummond and Ayton, are going to be open. Both are dropping the ball down below their waist too often to try to gather strength here. Ayton with a nice catch and finish. He's got great agility. At the other end, Drummond drops it, and then they call a foul. But they got to keep the ball up. Got to keep the ball up high. Catch it high, finish high.
Drummond, a notoriously poor free throw shooter. Well, tonight on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball visits St. Louis. It's one of baseball on the Cardinals, with first pitch shortly after 7 o'clock Eastern time. Cubs and Cardinals tonight at 7. Drummond goes 1 for 2. Lakers trailing by 8. Chris Paul, as you talk about his longevity, he played 70 out of the 72 games this year. Flicker inside. Nice patient move.
And you can see what the Suns are doing. They're playing through Devin Booker. Last time made a play for Ayton. That time makes a play for himself. They put him in pick and roll action.
Booker with 15 in the game off the turnover. Suns basketball.
That was a big foul the last trip where Ayton picked up his 3rd foul. Let's see if Sarge can make the same plays that Ayton was to finish.
Boy, Booker in a rhythm right now.
And the problem is a double screen. Chris Paul is setting the first screen, so it puts the defense in a dilemma. You help, he finds either Paul or a big roll, and if you don't, he gets to his spot, which we've seen back-to-back plays.
They go to Anthony Davis. Little pitch back, little give and go basketball in traffic. Drummond ends up with it and puts it home. Boy, heavy traffic, heavy sledding inside. Bridges with the crossover. Good defense by Matthews.
And LeBron with a lot of rest. He's coming back in at the next dead ball, but he's
Outstanding defense. Blocks the shot without fouling. That length, athletic ability, that's getting it done on the defensive end.
And then drawing a foul. Shooting two.
Anthony Davis said prior to the game that just because we haven't had many games with each other, we're not a team that's scared. We remain very confident.
I tell you what, this is the second time, if I'm the Lakers, second time the referee has handed Chris Paul the basketball that he's asked just to get a touch, to dribble, and to shoot on his own.
You don't like that?
No, if the opposing team, no. Let them get right during the action.
And Anthony Davis has got to get going.
I mean, here's what I'm talking about. Anthony Davis is ready to shoot a free throw. Chris Paul, go in the back and work out. This is playoff basketball.
What happened to that spirit of like LeBron James was picking him up, and you're talking sportsmanship, and now you're talking ruthless gamesmanship.
We're back to business, Jeff. Gets another touch here. Guarded by Caldwell Pope. Davis switches on to him. Tough shot over Davis. Sarge with the board.
But they've gone back to the Anthony Davis at center lineup that we saw extensively against Golden State.
Johnson back to Bridges. Here's CP3. Little floater from the elbow. A little strong. Tipped up. LeBron couldn't get it. Johnson does. Johnson for three. Out of bounds. It'll be Los Angeles basketball.
Anthony Davis, 2 for 7 from the floor, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, no rebounds, no assists.
And he's got to be better. And right now he's being defended by Sarge. So he's got to, I demand the basketball. This is a matchup that works to my advantage. He's got to be more aggressive.
He only played in one of the regular season games against the Suns, but in the game he had 42. Caldwell Pope goes in a hurry. Davis, thank you very much.
Because he's not playing with another big.
Here's Booker. Weaving around the screen, catch and shoot three. Cam Johnson on the money.
Another play made by Devin Booker, though. Don't take anything away from Cam Johnson knocking that down. But Devin Booker has been a playmaker.
Here's James, guarded by Bridges. Downhill, put his shoulder into Saric, and that's going to be an offensive foul on James. His first personal.
They're going with the same action. Devin Booker off of this double screen.
Tried to kick it to Johnson in the corner. Here's Bridges. Paul has only taken 1 field goal attempt since coming back from that shoulder injury. Sarge left it on the front rim.
Well, Anthony Davis is such a good pick and roll defender. It's hard to get the same quality looks.
He fires the three. Loose ball, and Caruso was out of bounds.
And he makes that, okay, good shot. I'd much rather have him on the block. Don't be too complicated offensively. Get him the basketball and get out of his way. Win your matchup.
Folks, coming up on the Oculus halftime, the Sixers survive a tight game 1 against the Wizards. Rhea Taylor, Jalen Rose, and Jay Williams in the studio. As Chris Paul brings it up court. Booker again. Great cross-court find to Johnson. What a pass. But he missed the shot.
He is making every right decision.
Bridges with that 7'1" reach. At just 6'6". Initially drafted by the 76ers and traded to the Suns. Drawn to Caldwell Pope. Long 2 is good. You know, Caldwell Pope, Vogel says, is a good shooter, especially three-point shooter, guys. He's trying to get him to shoot more because he's right around 40%. The Lakers at times, we all know, struggle for offense when Davis and or LeBron are off the floor.
Pope's is not just a good shooter. He's a good basketball player. He does everything at a level that puts you in position to win night in and night out.
8-point lead for the Suns. Chris Paul to inbound. Devin Booker goes quick. Johnson. And that's going to be the end of the first half. First half, they had a bunch of twists and turns dramatically with Chris Paul being injured. People holding their collective breath here, then coming back. Booker with 17, Ayton with 14. But Devin Booker keeping the Suns up.
Shout out Tommy Jackson, loving heart. Halftime
Hazel up. Ay, sorry. Nakitan ko lang kayo. Teka lang. Oo, nalalaglag na naman ako. Pag ano na lang kayo, tawag dito. Di pala ako makakapag-jacket, Hazel, kasi gamit ko isang phone.
Alam mo na kapag naririnig mo to, nasa kabilang banda kami nang hinahasarap sa pakiramdam. Dinabuhan ng param pam 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 param param pam. Sumabay lang sabay ang sarap sa pakiramdam. Param pam. sa bayan sa pam 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 pam
Left the game for several minutes after suffering a shoulder Crowder's three ball a little bit strong. And LeBron back the other way, but Chris Paul did come back in the latter part of the second quarter.
I watched Chris Paul shoot a lot of threes as Drummond overpowers Jay Crowder good job by Drummond, but I saw Chris Paul, he was shooting a lot of threes, and he was really struggling to get the ball up to the basket.
At halftime during the warm-ups, yeah.
Yep.
And to me, if they're going to run that handoff action, I'd send Booker the other way, Coach. Top lock him as opposed to allow him to come off of that double screen. It's tough to defend.
And if you're going to top block him, you got to have your
that's what you're talking about, the double team.
Shooting and toughness.
Speaking of shooting, LeBron knocks down the 3-ball. He's up to 13. And yes, James Jones, certainly guys in the running for Executive of the Year. When you look at last November, as Chris Paul loses the handle again, he just doesn't look quite right. Ayton says, look what I found. Yeah, James Jones traded for Chris Paul November the 16th. Acquired Jake Crowder in free agency as well. A couple of key moves. Drummond keeping it alive. A one-man show on the glass.
Area.
When they're guarding him small, when they put Ayton on Davis, that's what he's got to do. He's got to be big in the paint. Not necessarily but it of rebounding is elite.
He didn't know that he was all alone. Out to Bridges. And the Lakers get the stop. Wow, Ayton passed up a wide... looks like we have an issue down on the floor.
Yeah, foul in transition on Davis.
The delivery from Crowder doesn't realize he's wide open. But I like on the other end, Chris Paul daps him up. Eliminates.
Court. With 20 points. Being a catalyst in so many different ways.
Getting stop. The great Anthony Davis and how
a member of the NBA's all-defensive team several times. Crowder with the free throw line jumper. The lead is up to 30. James double teamed, and they turn him over. Crowder. Timeout, Los Angeles. Phoenix with its biggest lead of the game.
This is how it feels saving all that dough.
DJ Dance Remix.
Got blocked. And the Suns with possession. Paul leading the break. Booker hits the trailer. Ayton couldn't get the handle, got it back. Booker on the drive, goes high. Met by Drummond. And we have a jump ball being called.
I wonder why that was a jump ball.
Wanted to punch that. And then Drummond came over.
Yeah, but that's not a jump ball.
Drummond never has the basketball.
That's a travel.
Absolutely.
Came down with it, yeah.
I thought that was good verticality by Drummond.
Drummond and Booker will jump it. How often did you guys work on this stuff at the circle? Did you? Did either of you guys work on this at all?
You talk about it. Yeah, you talk about it and you go over it. But on this level, there should be an understanding of how we win the tip.
Okay.
And you want to form, get two people, form a sync.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I believe me.
and it's important. I mean, I left the playoff games, Pacers versus Bulls, and it came down to a jump ball and winning the tap.
This one isn't that late in the game, but every possession counts, especially for the Lakers right now, down by 15 in the front court. It's Schroeder, a burst of speed and a bucket. And it's Schroeder now with his third field goal. He's got 9. But Chris Paul has been loose with the basketball, guys. That's about the third time we've seen that happen, and again losing it there.
Which tells you he's not 100%, even though he's on the floor.
LeBron, the locomotive on the break, left it short, but got fouled in the process. You're the Lakers and Schroeder. Are you pressing up on Paul a little bit more to make him cough it up, maybe?
I'm careful, but I'm picking him up full court and trying to force him to be careless with the basketball. And let's see how close he is to 100%, because this is not the Chris Paul that we know.
They're taking him out right now, which is his normal rest time, and bringing in Cam Payne.
Remember, this is what happened earlier. You see the athletic training staff working on his shoulder. Here's how it happened. Took the shoulder contusion on that play in the second quarter, early in the second quarter. Went into the locker room for several minutes. Is going back into the locker room again. With 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Chris Paul is 2 of 4 from the field, 5 points and 8 assists.
And Bridges going to get a rest as James is still in the game. Be interesting to see if Cam Johnson can defend like Bridges.
And Payne missed that floater. LeBron coming back the other way. Here's Schroeder. Back to James. Guarded by Cam Johnson. Lakers a little bit stagnant. LeBron on the drive. Never made it through traffic. We got a tie-up and a jump ball between Johnson and James. Wasn't a whole lot of movement or cutters on that sequence from Los Angeles.
And the shot clock should not have reset. Be interested to see how much time was on the clock when LeBron made the pass.
But they're not resetting it,
which is surprising.
So they're saying Cam Johnson had
possession. Yeah.
Possession.
James and Johnson to take this tip. Schroeder out front. Off to James Green. Pocket pass to LeBron. Up high in traffic. A nice catch and bucket by Drummond. Wow.
It's important if you're Phoenix right now. If I'm Devin Booker, I'm not going to allow this lead to dwindle down. I've got to be aggressive and be a playmaker for my offense.
Here's Crowder, guarded by Davis. Back to Payne. Lob for Ayton, never made it. And LeBron in a rush the other way. Caldwell Pope, side pocket three. Tipped up out of bounds and back the other way to the Suns. Kuzma will check in. Well, Friday, our NBA playoff coverage continues with 3 game threes. At 7 Eastern on ESPN, the Knicks and the Hawks. Then at 8:30 on ABC, the Nets face the Celtics. The Clippers and the Mavs finish the night on ESPN at 9:30. And guys, what did you make of the Mavericks going into the Staples Center and winning game 1?
Big win. You win with great talent, and Luka Doncic is a great talent.
Tim Hardaway Jr. also making some big shots for the Mavericks. The floater by Cam Payne. Left it on the front rim. Rebounded by Kuzma. Davis getting up slowly. Anthony Davis just 3 of 11 in this ball game. Schroeder aggressive to the bucket. Gets it to fall. And Monty Williams calls a timeout with the lead down to 7.
Well, they're better with Schroeder attacking. Here he goes.
Are you tired of clean clothes that just don't smell clean? What if your clothes could stay fresh for weeks? Now they can. Downy Unstoppable's in-wash scent boosters keep your laundry smelling fresh way longer than detergent alone. Pour a cap of Downy Unstoppables into your wash.
DJ Dance Remix.
American Idol live tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC. Macklemore, one of my faves, one of the best rappers coming out of Seattle. LeBron James getting a little breather. His team down by 7 with 3:14 to go. Booker leading the way so far for the Suns with 20. There's Cam Payne, just 1 of 7 from the field, getting some minutes with the injury to Chris Paul today. They double team Booker. Crowder had to go off the foot of Anthony Davis.
I think this is being misinterpreted time after time. If you throw it at a guy's foot, it has to be an intentional kick. To me, those aren't intentional. Well, that one is. I was wrong.
What?
I was wrong.
Oh, my goodness. I thought I had an audio problem, too there, Mark. Crowder catching 2-3. Back out to Johnson. Payne with another opportunity. Finally got one.
Been a tough night thus far for him, but that's a big shot.
It was less than 6 months ago. He was sitting in a hotel room in China. Decided he didn't want to play in the Chinese Basketball League and got that phone call from Monty Williams. Came back stateside, got the deal in the bubble with the Suns. Here's Booker out front. Cross court. Schroeder with great anticipation. Went to the wrong guy. Ayton made the catch and got fouled by Caldwell Pope. Good hustle by the Suns that time to get the extra possession.
This is what the Lakers need from Anthony Davis. Sometimes just win your matchup. Forcing a great player to make a play. Takes advantage of his size and length and gets an easy deuce.
Gonna double team Booker here, guys, and take it out of his hands. Gain against Caruso. Good defense by Caruso. Johnson on the drive. Davis with the foul on that block. And that's going to put Cam Johnson at the free throw line.
Because we've seen it time and time again, you say that he's a great player, make his teammates better. Well, Devin Booker's doing that. He's taking the double team and get rid of the basketball. Now you make a play.
That's right. Really good flash to the middle by Cam Johnson. Didn't get it, but then got it back from Payne and took it strong to the rim. Thought of as a three-point shooter, showing more than that here today.
If I was Phoenix, I would really think about allowing Booker to initiate the offense so he sees the double team and now puts other guys in position to be aggressive.
He's taken charge of this Phoenix team in the absence of Chris Paul, who at last sight was still being worked on by the athletic training staff of the Phoenix Suns. As I say that, he emerges out of the tunnel at this moment and is going to rejoin his teammates on the bench. There's a look at Chris Paul on the right. A rough afternoon for him. Anthony Davis left that jumper on the front rim. Booker coming back.
Ayton's done a good job on Anthony Davis.
That's going to be a foul against Caruso. That's going to put Booker at the free throw line. Well, scan for your shot to win tickets, folks, to the NBA playoffs as well as other amazing prizes. Michelob Ultra's courtside. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. He's taking charge of this Phoenix team in the absence of Chris Paul. Booker knocks down the first free throw. There's a great story about Devin Booker recently going through when he was a rookie before being drafted by the Suns, the pre-draft drill, where the offensive player scores or playing one-on-one against the defender, and the brain trust for the Suns was watching, and you're supposed to switch, go offense, defense out. Well, Booker kept scoring on the other guys they brought in to work out against him, and he didn't want to stop.
Well, if you're scoring every time, I wouldn't want to either.
They wanted to end the drill. He's like, no, these guys got to stop me first.
Look at the Lakers. Mistakes being made. They're in the bonus. And you give Devin Booker attacking the boards 2 free throws, careless foul. Get back and defend.
Chris Paul is going to check into the ball game for Cam Payne. Booker at the free throw line. Devin Booker recently going through when he was a rookie before being drafted by the Suns. He does have the 8 assists so far, but just doesn't look like he is able to do what he wants to do at the offensive end.
I wouldn't be surprised if the conversation that we just caught on camera with Chris Paul and Cam Payne was Chris Paul encouraging him to stay ready. I'm not 100%. Make sure you stay engaged and stay ready.
He's like, no, these guys got to stop me first. Off to miss Caruso up court. 13-point.
You give Devin Booker attacking the boards 2 free throws, careless foul. Get back and defend.
Chris Paul is going to check into the ball game for Cam Payne. Booker at the free throw. Does have the 8 assists so far, but between the shot and goal, just doesn't look like he is able to do what he wants to do at the offensive end.
I wouldn't be surprised if the conversation that we just caught on camera with Chris Paul and Cam Payne was Chris Paul encouraging him to stay ready. I'm not 100%. Make sure you stay engaged and stay ready.
He's like, no, these guys got to stop me first. Off to miss Caruso up court. 13-point.
You give Devin Booker attacking the boards 2 free throws, careless foul. Get back and defend.
Chris Paul is going to check into the ball game for Cam Payne. Booker at the free throw. does have the 8 assists so far, but between the shot and gun just doesn't look like he is able to do what he wants to do at the offensive end.
I wouldn't be surprised if the conversation that we just caught on camera.
Going right. I just don't remember him ever mishandling. And he has mishandled the ball going right. I just don't remember him ever mishandling.
Obviously still struggling with that shoulder. What percentage would you say he's at right now, and how are the rest of the guys handling so well, having their floor general come in and out of the lineup?
Well, he's playing the way Chris plays, with the heart of a warrior. Our guys see that, and I think it's giving us some juice and energy. I'm watching him closely. I don't want to put him in harm's way, but he's generating so much juice with his heart right now. It's really helping us.
Well, right now, Rachel, they're just putting the ball in Devin Booker's hands, and he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting at the offensive end. Caruso in the paint for Harrell. LeBron James begins the fourth quarter for the Lakers. Harrell with a sweeping hook that falls.
He's played well in his short minutes. You're at 12 minutes, 12 points. His energy has been impactful.
And that's going to be, Jeff, an offensive foul against Booker as Caruso got run over on that sequence, much to a disbelieving Booker.
And we talked about putting the ball in the hands of Devin Booker so he sees the double team. A little high screen and roll action. The help is late. He continues to make them pay the price.
He scored the last 10 in a row for the Suns. 14-point lead for Phoenix. This is game one. LeBron trying to post up here on Bridges. Got it on the wing. Bounce pass for Kuzma in traffic. Kuzma got it, then got blocked by Saric. Out of bounds. Phoenix ball. Chris Paul, prior to this possession, has brought the ball up court predominantly with his left hand. Saric runs over Caruso. That's the second charge Caruso has drawn, and we were talking about it prior to the game. This guy here, Alex Caruso, is a good defender.
Yeah, he's terrific because he's got great size, length, anticipation, and toughness.
LeBron cross court. Caruso at the offensive end gets the lefty layup to fall, and it's a 12-point game.
That's big plays, back-to-back charges you talked about, and that time putting his head down and attacking the rim.
He averaged 10 a game against the Suns during the regular season. Sarge out top. Booker curls off the screen. Got a little bit of room, that's all he needs, but he left it short.
But if I'm Devin Booker, I like the shots I'm getting.
James gets it back. Cam Johnson guards him, fouls him, and it appeared as if LeBron was behind that three-point line. It was close, but he got him on the way up. Here's another look.
And that's the right call.
Yep.
And you can't play individual defense with your hand over the ball because it leads to that. You've got to pull your hands back and play with your body.
Yeah, it's about that time. Time for me, you, 16 team to rock out. This is hunger. This is hype. This is the NBA playoffs.
You know, we saw a 10-second call yesterday against Giannis, which I believe is poor judgment. But if we're going to go to the minutia of the rules, most guys who shoot the free throw, you can't break that plane until after it hits the rim. LeBron James, like a lot of guys, does that on the regular basis. So to me, we got to figure out which rules we're going to call and which rules we're going to let go. And that got called a foul.
There's a loose ball foul on Chris Paul. Then there's an altercation. The altercation is under review.
Between Payne and Caruso, it actually started that trip before when they had the collision that was the no call that led to the James attack and foul.
After review, there's 2 technical fouls on the Lakers. One's on Alex Caruso, one is on Harrell. There's also 2 technical fouls on Phoenix. Both are on Cameron Payne. He's been ejected.
Wow. Cam Payne ejected. So he got 2 technical fouls on one player.
Well, you look and you say how. He shoves Caruso, which is the first one. Then Montrezl Harrell comes, grabs him, or shoves him. And then Cam Payne takes the basketball and throws it at Caruso. So I believe that's where the 2 technical fouls come from with Cam Payne.
Keep an eye on Cam Payne. There's one hit on Caruso. And then he throws the ball.
I know it's not election time, but I call that a losing campaign.
Oh.
I'm here all week.
Well, campaign is done for the night, and that further complicates the situation, guys, because he was the guy that was coming in for Chris Paul with the bad shoulder already.
But they do have exceptional depth, guard depth. They have Etuan Moore. They have Javon Carter. They have Langston Galloway. This is a deep team.
And the one you didn't mention, they have a 2 guard that can handle the basketball and initiate offense in Devin Booker.
Harrell inside, folks. There were 5.5 minutes that elapsed in real time during that stoppage of play.
And so Booker got his rest and is now back in.
If I'm Booker, I want the basketball right now.
Chris Paul, that handle not as tight as it usually is with the shoulder injury, got hung up. Here's Johnson. Shot clock down to 2, fires, and fouled by Kuzma. Disbelieving Frank Vogel. One more look at it here.
That's not a foul.
Not a foul. If I'm Frank Vogel, I challenge that.
Yeah, he's calling a timeout, and he's going to challenge.
He never even left the ground. He's in legal guarding position.
You see assistant coach Miles Simon there indicating that. One more look. We'll get the answer on the other side. He's up to 34. James. Chris Paul bringing it up court. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Here's Bridges in the corner. Booker calls for it against Schroeder. They clear out the side, step back mid-range. Bridges, oh, he smoked the putback. It was right there for him. James, a bounce pass to Caruso. Davis with a size advantage here on Bridges. Going to go to work on him. Good double team, but an aggressive foul by Johnson.
And I would argue not a good double team because he was under control, and Cam Johnson overreacts and commits the foul, sending Davis to the line. But Devin Booker has put on a show all afternoon long. Contest of Anthony Davis good, but not good enough. Booker having his way.
Lakers are in the penalty the rest of the way, shooting, and have not committed a team foul.
How about that?
How about Devin Booker? 14 of the last 16 Phoenix Suns points.
Davis missing from the free throw line. Usually a very reliable foul shooter. Hovering right around 80%, shaking his head. His team down by 9 with plenty of time.
through offense and then get him to the basket.
It's going to be Booker bringing it up court this time.
I like that.
Working against Caldwell Pope. Ball spreads the floor in the corner. Back out to Booker. Calls for the clear. Crosses over Caldwell Pope. Here's Bridges. From 15, halfway down, tipped in by Ayton.
And that is one of the weaknesses to doubling. You leave yourself vulnerable on second shots. Ayton with a terrific job finishing that miss by Bridges.
Lead us back up to 10. Ayton had that strong first half. James missing. Ayton with the board, knocked out of bounds off of Caruso. It'll be Phoenix basketball. DeAndre Ayton, guys, has 20 points and 14 rebounds. He's made 10 of his 11 shots today.
He's been dominant.
They got to get it over.
Chris Paul just does. And over to Booker.
I wouldn't want to screen if I was him. Everybody out of my way.
Caldwell Pope helping out. Back to Booker. Step back three. Too strong. Rebounded by Ayton, his 15th rebound, and he draws a foul from the Lakers.
If I'm DeAndre Ayton, this is on my tape down the road. I played in my first playoff game against future Hall of Famer Anthony Davis, and I was the best big man on the floor.
He will be eligible for an extension coming up at the end of this season.
And I don't mean best big man overall, but today's basketball game, he has been the best one.
Gotcha. Booker, they double team him. Nice flash to the foul line by Bridges, and he knocks it home.
They've done that very well all game. Get somebody to the middle of the floor. They just haven't converted as much as they would have liked to.
Anthony Davis back to LeBron. They double team LeBron. Jake Crowder ties him up. Jump ball. A swarming, stunning Suns defense getting it done.
This has been a big game for the Phoenix Suns. Defensively, Crowder comes from the weak side, traps LeBron James, forces him into the jump ball.
Crowder and James. LeBron wins the tip. Back to Schroeder. Takes Paul off the dribble. Davis fades away and misses it. Booker corrals the loose ball and gives it back to CP3. 3.5 minutes to go. Paul off the screen. Inside to Ayton. Got chopped by Caldwell Pope and draws the hit. So it'll be 2 free throws for DeAndre Ayton. Anthony Davis 5 of 15 today from the field. And Caruso gets a foul for tailgating. That's only the third Laker team foul in the period. Beside out of bounds. Booker calls for the screen.
He wants Caruso to switch on to him. This is his matchup that he prefers.
Caldwell Pope helping out. They're really loading towards him. The kick out. Chris Paul throws up the runner and left it short.
I like that. Leaving him open right now.
Caruso open on the baseline. Missed it. Would have been a big one. Under 2 minutes to go. The lead is still at 10. And the crowd on its collective feet. Booker. They hit the man at the free throw line. Crowder! Butter! It's that same play, Jeff.
It's good reaction against the double team.
Braun backed it out against Dayton. He fires the three. And the Lakers just don't seem to have it right now. Game one tilting in favor of the Suns right now as we approach 1 minute to go. The Lakers come into the series as the favorites, but didn't look like it today. Here's Paul. Crowder, three. And Davis with the board. Under a minute to go. A big climb ahead, a daunting one for the Lakers. They're being very methodical with time running out. They turn it over. And that's going to be a foul on Caruso. Guys, compared to the game that you guys did Friday against Golden State, I don't see the same type of urgency today from the Lakers.
Well, in fairness, they had timely urgency in the Warriors game. It wasn't urgency. They were thoroughly outworked and outplayed in the first half. That's the concern, believing that you can turn it on and off when you want it.
I tell you, it's great to hear fans in the building again. Davis pretty much done for the game now as the Phoenix Suns playing their first playoff game in 11 years. The last time they were in the playoffs, they were swept by the Lakers back in 2010. Off the miss, here comes Schroeder. The reigning champs come into this as the number 7 seed. Caruso with the side pocket three. But too little too late. With an injured Chris Paul, Devin Booker was able to lift up his veteran mentor and teammate. And the rest of them is LeBron James. And the Lakers take the loss in game one. LeBron finished with 18. Davis finished with 13. Lakers didn't have nearly enough today, as the Suns take game one. But the question now is, what will Chris Paul look like in game two and the remainder of the series, guys?
This offer is available for your Suns after a limited time only.
Let's go to Rachel.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much. Devin, you're...